Do you guys have plans of moving to Hawaii and shipping over your pets to Hawaii, but don't know what the process is? Well, in this video, I'm going to go over the step-by-step guide and show you how to save a lot of time, headache, and money when it comes to shipping your fur baby over to Hawaii. So stick around to get all the details. See you on the other side. All right, guys, like I mentioned, we're going to be going over the process when it comes to shipping your fur baby over to Hawaii. Now, if you guys have never seen my videos, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Patrick Longley with eXp Realty. I am a licensed realtor out here in Oahu, and I'd be happy to help you if you're looking to buy, sell, or rent real estate out here in Hawaii. With that being said, I've got my contact information right here, so feel free to contact me if you have any questions or directly DM me on any of my social media platforms. With that being said, let's jump into the step-by-step guide on how to move your pet to Hawaii. Step number one, you will want to get a microchip. Now, if you already have a microchip, just double check and make sure it's still working with your vet. And if you don't, make sure you set an appointment with your vet to get a microchip installed in your pet. Step number two, get 2 rabies shots. And it's really important, guys, that you plan accordingly because this is going to be the longest process of the entire step-by-step guide because it's going to take a lot of time to get that rabies shots. You have to set the appointment. They're going to get their first rabies shot, and then they have to wait 30 days till they can get their second rabies shot, and then you have to wait an additional 30 days to get the blood test to verify that the rabies vaccination has gone through and it is working. And if they don't pass, you have to wait an additional 30 days to get that shot again. So there can be anywhere from 3 to 4 months in that period just to complete this step. So make sure that you allow yourself enough time to do so. Now, a quick tip, once you get these vaccinations for your furry friend, you're going to want to make sure that the vet gives you a vaccine certification so that you can give that to the vet and when you're filing your permitting paperwork. And again, like I mentioned, the second tip is if they didn't pass the rabies test, that you will have to wait an additional 30 days. So make sure you have enough time to do that and plan accordingly, plan for the worst and hope for the best. Step number 3 is get the FAVN antibody test. This is the blood test. So when you go to the vet to get those rabies shots, you're going to want to make sure you select one of the 3 approved labs for that blood test. You're going to give that information to your vet. So once they actually finish the rabies test, the second shot, they can send that information directly to the lab. And from there, the lab will send the results, either pass or fail, directly to you as well as directly to the Department of Agriculture. Step number 4, apply for the permit. Now, before you apply for the permit, there are 2 things that you want to do. Number 1, find a vet inspector to meet you at the gate once you arrive in Hawaii. Now, this isn't necessary in Oahu, but if you are going to some of the surrounding islands like Maui, it is necessary. Number 2, make sure you book the flight prior to submitting the permit and select a company that actually participates in the direct airport release program. That could be Alaska, Hawaiian. Just make sure that you find one and verify that they are part of that program. Now, once you have those 2 details ironed out, you are ready to submit the paperwork for the application for the permit. Now, if you need a little bit of hand holding through this process, you can contact that vet that we discussed earlier and they can kind of walk you through the process. But generally speaking, it kind of goes like this. Now, if you're applying for a neighboring island permit, make sure you do this 30 days prior to your flight actually leaving, and you're going to need the following documentation: a completed and signed dog and cat import form, $165 cashier's check or money order, original rabies vaccination certificate for the 2 most recent rabies vaccines, and flight information for your arrival flight into Hawaii. Now, another quick tip to avoid a huge headache is it's important that when you submit that paperwork, I would highly suggest that you put in there a prepaid overnight label so the Ag department can send you that permit overnight to make sure that you have enough time and you don't miss your flight because you didn't have the permit. Step number 5, receive your neighboring island inspection permit. Now, again, this is for the neighboring islands, not the main island of Oahu, but if you are getting one of these neighboring islands inspection permits, you're going to make sure that you're going to need that because before you get on the flight and when you arrive for the vet inspector, they're both going to need that document. So make sure that you treat that thing like gold. Step number 6, get a health check. No more than 14 days prior to your flight, you're going to want to go to your vet and get a health check. And that's basically just going to make sure that your furry friend is ready to rock and roll and healthy to get on a plane. And also you want to make sure that they don't have any fleas or ticks, and they're going to put that on the note of the certificate. So make sure that you do that. Step number 7, fly to Hawaii and meet your vet upon arrival. Again, if you're going to one of the neighboring islands, it's not needed in Oahu, but if you're going to one of the neighboring islands, you're going to want to contact your vet and just let them know that you're going to be flying in and what time you'll be landing so they can meet you at the gate or at the baggage claim to inspect your pet and make sure that you have all that proper documentation that I mentioned before. And they'll review the paperwork and, of course, scan the microchip. And that pretty much wraps it up. So now let's go over the cost of shipping your pet to Hawaii. Now, if you're shipping your pet, you can expect about $500 to $800 to ship one pet over. And the breakdown of those costs are: flight is about $100. It could be about $225 if you fly with Hawaiian, about $100 if you go with Alaska. Rabies vaccines, $50. Rabies blood test is about $65. The neighbor island inspection permit, once again, this is what you would need if you're going to one of the neighboring islands, is about $165. The vet release is $300, and the health certificate is $75. All right, guys, well, that's pretty much your step-by-step guide on moving your pet to Hawaii. And again, if you guys are moving here and you're looking for assistance when it comes to buying, selling, or renting, I'd be happy to assist you. I've got my contact information right here, so feel free to call, text, or email me, or connect with me on any of my social media platforms. Feel free to send me a direct DM. Love to connect with you. Anyways, guys, that pretty much wraps it up. I'm Patrick with PatrickLongRealty.com, powered by eXp Realty. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.